Hello everyone and welcome back to the MoleTM YouTube channel. Welcome back to Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle-earth free-to-play series. We're finally doing our week 1 review. So, the purpose of these reviews is we're going to be doing weekly updates just to let you know how the progress is going on the account, what we're going to be working on, what our goals are for the future, and then just give you guys a little bit more insight into what goes into a free-to-play account for Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle-earth. If I go ahead and sort by power here, you can see this is my current roster. Our main 5 is Ironhide, along with the Rohan Trio and Naramiri, and then we have some other characters as well that we're building up. So as I said previously, we need to do our F and F grind. Again, not Fast and Furious, focus and finish. So something that I did kind of have a thought about over the last few days is instead of focusing and finishing specific characters, because that can get pretty monotonous and also can potentially slow you down in the long run, the focus and finish strategy needs to work more for the entire team as opposed to the individual characters. Now, working on an individual character for specific game modes, for example, we're focusing on Ironhide for the guild campaign, can actually be very beneficial. However, for example, if I want to work on my light side team, and let's say that I don't have a particular team that I am focusing on, for example, we could build the elves eventually. I mean, Elrond is still to be released, but at the minute we only have 2 of those elves, so we wouldn't be able to unlock Elrond. We wouldn't be able to use the team because we don't have the elves needed. So for your light team, if you want to say, right, I'm not really progressing as much as I would like to on my light side nodes, therefore I want to focus this week or however long for your period of time that you choose, I want to focus this time on this specific team, and go ahead and do that. And also focus and finish, you can set your own goals. It doesn't have to be maximum 7 stars, maximum gear tiers, maximum levels. You don't have to go out of your way to fully maximize these characters. What I'm saying with the focus and finish is think to a point that you want to get to, and then make sure that you get to that point before you do anything else. So for example, if you say I want to complete in the entirety of chapter 3 and its hard node, but currently you don't have the team to do that. So you would simply say, right, well, I would need my top 5 characters, which would be, in this case, Eamon, Naramiri, Eothane, Eowyn, and Strider. I want to get them to gear tier 6, 3 stars, and level 40. So you go, okay, right, for that entire week, I'm not going to focus on my Ironhide, I'm not going to focus on my arena team, or I might lose a little bit of placement there. But in the long run, it's going to help me unlock more nodes, which means I'll have more nodes for farming, which means I'll be able to get more gear materials, which means I'll be able to upgrade the rest of my characters. So that's really what the focus and finish strategy is developed for. Obviously, when more complete teams come out, like for example, one team that I have teased that I am building, and also one team that people are heavily suggesting will be the Elrond counter, is the Haradrim. Now, for those of you that have played Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, you will know the team that is featured in the Rebels TV series, which is the Phoenix team, which is comprised of Hera, Chopper, Ezra, Kanan, and Zeb. They all have this sort of synergy where I believe it's Hera's leadership allows them to share each of their passives. Now, it is, I believe, either data mined or teased that is what the leader of the Haradrim will also do. So this is going to be a very powerful and a very early farm for the free-to-play farm going forward. I mean, if we look here at Yefdu's passive, it gets all the characters heightened amount of crit chance, which means they're going to be hitting very hard. Wubate's here is whenever they get this black serpent poison, they're going to be able to heal for a percentage of their max health. And then finally, Robel, when they do crit, which, you know, you have to remember we're getting that extra crit chance from Yefdu's passive. When they do crit, they have a percentage chance to inflict this black serpent's poison, which will then allow them to heal on turn. So it means they're going to be hitting hard, they're going to be critting a lot, and then they're going to hopefully be putting on stacks upon stacks upon stacks of this black serpent's poison, which means they'll be continuously healing, which means that they're going to be very tanky, which means they're going to be hitting extremely hard, and it means they're going to be extremely difficult to deal with. But what I want to go and do is I've gone ahead and made this slight presentation here just to give you guys a little bit of an overview, a little bit of a visual representation of what I'm working on, what the account is currently looking like, And I think I'm going to do this on a week-to-week basis. So this is the week 1 review. Now, you guys have seen the first 1 to 5 days. I didn't do day 6 and day 7 just because it literally was the exact same as day 5. It was me farming the same nodes. It was me playing my arena battles. I have looked at the comments as well, and there has been so much support from you guys. You guys are loving the series. Thank you to all of the guild mates that are in my Lord of the Rings guild. You know, thank you to everyone else that's been watching and supporting. But something that you guys have suggested is that I do actually show you guys my arena battles. But we will be getting onto that later in the presentation. The account overview. So this is week number 1. We are at account level 35. Our gold total is around about 9,150, or at least it was whenever the presentation was made. It might be a little bit different now. Our total collection power, 15,020. Our strongest squad power is 7,459. We have a total of 17 characters collected with 14 total arena wins. We unfortunately don't have any 7-star characters yet, but hopefully we will go ahead and start progressing that. We are doubling down on that Ironhide. He will probably be our first 7-star character, which means that I'll also be able to show you guys what is in the shard shop and whether or not that is worth it. Our light side campaign progress, we have 108 out of 297 possible stars. On our shadow side, we have a little bit less, which is 91 out of the 297 stars available. And then our guild campaign progress, obviously because we're still focusing on Ironhide and we're still focusing on that level 1 or chapter 1 of the guild campaign, we only have 22 out of 105 possible stars. So, characters that we are farming, and this is not new to any of you guys. As I said, for campaign energy, on the light side, we are farming Aethane, who is on chapter light 1-1, Yefdu, who is on light 1-9, Malher, who is on light 2-1, and then Nuraz, who is on light 2-5. On the shadow side, we are farming Dunhar, who is on shadow 1-1, and Eowyn, who is on shadow 1-5. And then, of course, as we said, with the guild energy, we are going to be farming Ironhide, only Ironhide, and he is on guild 1-7. In the various supply stores, we are farming Wubate shards in the guild supply store only. Other things that we are farming within the guild supply store are rare ability materials, and any gear pieces that come up, we'll try and snag them as much as we can. In the arena supply store, we are only buying AMA shards. There may come a time that we start buying the character XP, depending on when that becomes a bottleneck. It hasn't actually hit me just yet, so I'm hoping and praying that we don't run into that. And then for the main supply store, we are buying all gear pieces that are purchasable with gold. Now, I will be getting onto gold management and the rundown of how much all of that costs. But what I have decided is that I am buying 1 full refresh of the store per day. No more than that, because as I said, we're going to get onto that later and I'll show you the calculations. And then in the challenge supply store, for the moment, we are buying essences. Now, again, you can farm Halbarad or Bolg from here. We potentially will be moving on to Bolg. But from right now, I want to go ahead and get those essences. They're far more of a more important farm for me. So that is what we're focusing on for now. So, light side team. As you guys have seen, our current light side team is the following. We have Lady Eowyn as our leader, with Aethane and Aema to form that Rohan trio, with Strider and Naramiri to go ahead. The future light side team that I want to build is going to be the elves with Elrond. So Lord Elrond being the leader, Eladan being our tank, Arwen for the support, Elrohir for the attack damage, and then I put both Lomian and Naramiri in here. I'm debating which one I want to go for. Obviously, Lomian is going to go ahead and provide us with that more damage over time, that single target damage that we're used to. And then obviously Naramiri is going to hit us with the cleansers and the heals. So it depends really what's going to happen if we want to double down on the damage and do a sort of Elrohir Lomian duo, or if we want to double up with Elrond and Naramiri on the heals / revives there and just make them a really solid, continuously healing force. I'm yet to see, but those are the two that I will put in that 5th slot. Moving on to our shadow side team, our current shadow side team, we have Ugluk as the leader, with Morher and Dunhar rounding off that Isengard trio. And then we have, obviously, Ironhide, who we are mainly focusing on for that guild campaign again. And then Yefdu, who is the character in the Haradrim trio that we are currently farming the most of right now. We are obviously getting Wubate, and as soon as we unlock Robel's node, we will be getting Robel as well. But for now, we are chucking Yefdu in there just because he does a crazy amount of damage, especially if we go ahead and upgrade his skills, which we've not done yet. But it can do, I believe, like 400% damage on turn. And it is only single target damage, but it is just so strong. 400% damage is nothing to shake your head at. Let's put it that way. So our future Shadow Side team is going to look something like this. It's going to be the Bolg leadership, because I believe he does have one of the best, with Nuraz, also known as the Moria Troll Handler, I believe he was. He will end up summoning I believe it's Troll Stonebreaker? I could be wrong. We're going to be going with GoH the Brute as soon as we get some crystal income, or he becomes farmable. Then we'll be going with Robel and Yefdu to round out that Haradrim side. Now, if by the time that next week comes, or in the next coming months, that Haradrim are released, we'll probably end up switching this up completely and going for a full Haradrim side. But for now, this is the planned future Shadow Side team that we're going to go for. So I want to talk a little bit about crystal management here. So working at how many crystals we get per day, we get around 70, I believe, from all the daily objectives. And then currently with our arena placement of Silver 2, we get 50 per day, which is a total of 120 crystal income per day. Now, if we look at what we want to spend that crystal income on, you could go ahead and purchase some of the premium characters such as Eldred, GoH the Brute. But I think personally, your crystals are most beneficial doing your energy refreshes. Now, to do the 3 campaign refreshes per day, it's going to be 3 times 50 crystals, which is 150 crystals per day, which means that currently we're running at a net loss of 30 crystals. Add on top of that, if you want to do your 3 guild refreshes per day, and that's an extra 300 crystals. So that means it's a total of 450 crystals per day to do the maximum amount of refreshes, or first set of refreshes. I wouldn't recommend going to do the 100 refreshes on campaign or the 200 on guild, but in order to do that, that means that we are around 380 crystals short of what we need. So working that out, the placement in arena that we will need for all energy refreshes daily, which is the 3 campaign and the 3 guild, is number 4 in your arena shard, which is crazy. This will get us, you know, the 434 crystals as you see there, plus the 70 from the daily objectives. That'll take you over the 450 mark. That is a lot. That is a high placement that people might not be able to get, which means that you're going to have to choose which is more important to you. Personally, I think because the campaign nodes are harder to farm characters and gear from, I believe that the 3 times 50 crystal refreshes are better. And then if you have any extra energy per day, use them on your guild refreshes. If not, save them. Save them for the next day. But that moves on to our arena team. Obviously, we want to get higher in the arena placement, try and get as close as we can to that 4th sort of position in the leaderboards, which is not going to be possible right now. But our current arena team is looking like this. We have the Rohan Trio, Aoin Leadership, Aethane, and Aema. We have Gaz in there, and then Naramiri for the heals. The future arena team currently is going to be the Elves. I think they are going to be the arena meta. Everyone thinks they're going to be the arena meta. They're probably going to be the arena meta. They are going to be the main team that finally focuses down and utilizes team synergy. What with the passives, with the team ups, with Elrond's leadership, that is going to be what dominates the arena. If you don't have the elves, you're going to be slipping places. It's sad, but it's true. For a free-to-play perspective, it's very, very difficult, but these characters will be farmable. I've seen so much talk on the Discord, so much talk in various communities that it's unfair to free-to-play players that they're not going to be getting Elrond the first time round. It's unfair to players that they're not going to be able to complete these marquee character events, getting the extra gold. If you played any CG games before, if you played any gacha games before, any hero collector type games before, this is always the case. It's not new. Now, I haven't played that much Marvel Strike Force, so I don't really understand or know what it's like over there. But I am sure that when the first legendary came out, you were not able to get it first time round. But that's okay. Eladan will soon be farmable, I'm sure. Arwen will soon be farmable, I'm sure. If CG follows the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes progress and how they implement their former marquee characters into the various hard nodes or guild nodes, this is going to be obtainable, very, very obtainable on the second time around. It may be 3 to 6 months by the time that Elrond comes around, but that's fine. We can work on other teams before then. We can start working on the Haradrim, or we can start working on other teams. Eventually, all teams will be needed. When raids come out, we're going to need not just one team, not just the elves. You're going to need goblins or Haradrim or Isengard orcs or Mordor orcs, or you might need the Rohan team. Maybe Theoden's going to come out. You know, maybe at this time we're going to get a full fellowship team. Maybe you're going to need Road to Rivendell. We don't really know yet. So build the teams that you have available. Don't look at what you can't obtain and think, I want that, I want that. Focus on what you can get and build them strong. I know that there are people that are in the Shard of Death that are running Road to Rivendell teams at max gear, max level, max stars, and they are crushing. They are in the top 3. Why? Because currently at the minute, gear is king. Levels are king. Stars are king. The power totals make or break arena placements at the minute. Obviously, when the elves come in, that will change. But for now, build those teams. Increase your gear. Focus and finish. Anyway, that's my little rant over. Now, I want to move on to gold management. We've done crystal management. I want to talk a little bit about gold. Because another thing that I always hear is that we don't get enough gold. There isn't enough gold. And while that may be true, it may also be your perception and the way that you're using that gold that means that you aren't getting what you need. Working out energy per day on both campaign and guild, you get around 511 energy per day. That is your full energy reset. So that is while it's sleeping and it's ticking over and getting to full. That is one full energy bar, plus the 3 resets per day, plus the 3 energy collection refreshers. So you know that it says collect free energy within 20 minutes or 4 hours or whatever it may be. That is including those 3 collections, the 3 energy refreshers, and also including the full bar that you get just from leaving it overnight to recharge. I want to talk about the gold that I am getting or could get per day based on the maximum amount of refreshers. So for the campaign character farms, so this is farming the Yefdus, the Nuraz, the Eothane, etc. Just based on that, I am getting 16,800 gold per day just based on farming those shards alone. Farming the guild character farms, I am getting around 32,640 gold per day. Now, obviously, this can change depending on how much you're refreshing or how much you're not refreshing, but it's around that per day. The miscellaneous campaign farm, so this is the gear pieces or unlocking different hard nodes. You know, if you're progressing throughout the campaigns, it's around 7,280 per day just from the leftover energy that we're not using on the campaign farms. Now, you have 3 lots of the treasure trove challenge per week. I am currently at the tier 2 or 3, the one that gets you the 30k per. So 3 times a week, that's 90 grand a week, or it works out roughly to be 12,857 per day. So in total, we are getting, and this is an estimate, of around 69,577 per day. That is where I am currently at level 35. And again, this is me not maximizing my campaign farms, not maximizing my guild farms. I could be farming guild chapter 4, which means I would be getting a hell of a lot more gold, but I'm not. I'm focusing on guild chapter 1 because I want to work out my Ironhide. But nearly 70 grand per day is nothing again to shake your head at as long as you use it properly. Now that translates to about 487,039 gold a week. That's almost 500,000 gold a week. That's almost 500,000 gold a week. If you save up all this gold, if you hoard like most of these whales are doing because they want to save for Eladan, or they want to save for Arwen, or they want to save for Elrond, you need to bite the bullet. You need to say, I'm not going to be able to upgrade my characters today or this week, and instead I'm going to focus it all on my Ironhide, or I'm going to focus it all on my Haradrim. Saving it up and using it in bulk is, in my opinion, far better. Now, if you don't want to wait a week, and if you are low on gold, as I said, currently we are on about 9,000 total. Me, for example, from Monday to Wednesday, I don't spend any gold at all. I will farm the gear and I will leave it. I will leave it there. I won't upgrade it. I won't upgrade people's star levels. I won't do anything. I will leave it from Monday to Wednesday and I will let my gold build. Then on the Wednesday, late in the day, or on the Thursday, I will go hog wild. I will chuck all my gold into whichever character I'm feeling like I need to upgrade on that day. If I feel like, right, I want some more arena placement, I will go and chuck it on one of my arena team. If I feel like, okay, I want to progress more on my shadow nodes, I will chuck it on one of my shadow characters. And the benefit at the minute with this early game account is that a lot of our characters are in multiple places. So for example, our Ironhide is part of our arena squad and is part of our shadow squad. So if I think, okay, I want to increase my arena placement, but I also want to increase my shadow nodes, I'm going to put it on Ironhide because he's in both teams. Meanwhile, Naramiri is on our light and our arena team. Same with the Rohan Trio. If I want to say, okay, I want to increase my light side nodes, but also my arena placement, I'm going to invest it in either one of the Rohan Trio, maybe all three of them, or in Naramiri. Could be thinking, right, well, I'm wanting to build towards the elves eventually. So I'm not going to focus too much on the Rohan Trio. I'm going to focus it all on Naramiri. That is completely your preference to do, and it's your choice to make. With my second rant of the day over. All right, so what we're going to move on to next is buying all of the gear pieces within the main supply store. Now, if we look in the main supply store, we can see that we have our blue gear pieces here, our purple gear pieces, more blue, and more green. So in total, we have 3 greens that can be farmed per refresh. We have the 2 blue, and then the 3 up here, which means there's 5 total blues, and then there's going to be 3 purples as well. Now, I believe when we get in higher tiers, this may increase to 5 purples as well. If you want to buy all of the gear pieces, those 3 green gear pieces, one time, it will cost you 1,500 gold. If you're going to want to go and buy the 5 blue gear pieces on the 1 refresh, it's going to cost you 11,500 gold. If you want to buy it on 3 refreshes, it's going to cost you 34,500. If you're going to want to buy all of the purple gear one time, 1 refresh, it's going to cost you 12,200 gold. If you want to purchase every purple gear piece 3 times a day, it's going to cost you 36,600 gold. Which means that if you want to purchase 1 full refresh of your main supply store, it will cost you a total of 25,200 gold. If, however, you want to purchase everything on all the refreshes of the main supply store, it's going to cost you a total of 75,600 gold. Now, if we look back here at our gold total and how much gold we're getting per day, we're only getting 69,577 per day, which means that this 75,600 is not obtainable for us. So that is why I have decided to only go for the 1 full refresh, which is 25,200. Now, if you want to say, okay, well, I'm going to want to get all the green gear pieces and add a little bit extra on, it's an extra 3,000 gold, which means that your gold total will go up to 28,200. Go ahead and do that. If you think, right, well, I actually want to go ahead and get all the blue pieces, it may increase your total a little bit higher. You can choose what gear pieces you get for your own account. Each account is different. Each player is different. Have a look at what you want to buy and buy it. As long as you look at how much gold that's going to cost you, and it's going to be, I believe, 75,600 for everyone, because all these gear pieces cost the same, but they might not be accurate in terms of how much gold you're getting per day. So if you decide that, okay, I'm getting about 80,000 gold per day, I have enough to buy, you know, all these daily refreshes, then go ahead and do that if that's what you want. If you want to go ahead and hoard gear, it's an amazing thing to do. And it means that eventually you're going to get to a character where you don't have to purchase any gear or farm any gear. You just be able to take them up to max gear immediately. But obviously that is going to take a long time to do. Thinking about the week ahead, I have itemized what I'm going to be looking at, what I'm going to be farming, and essentially what I'm going to be doing or planning to do by next week. First of all, for our campaign energy, we're going to be focusing on Morher and Dunhar. All I'm going to be doing is getting these guys to 3 stars, and then I'm going to stop farming them. I'm not going to farm any more gear for them. I have them at gear tier 4. That's as far as I want to take them for now. I have them at level 30, I believe. I'm not going to increase their levels any more than that. As soon as I get them to 3 stars, I'm not going to touch them again. Eothane and Eowyn. Like Morher and Dunhar, I'm going to get them to 3 stars and then stop. I don't want to take them up to 4. Don't want to take them up to 7. I'm going to get them to 3 and stop. I'm then going to get them to gear tier 6 as a maximum. I don't want to push them to tier 8, not just yet. Not until Theoden comes out or I start building a full Rohan team. I just want to leave them. Level-wise, I am probably going to bring them up to my account level. Again, in increments of 5. Yeftu and Noraz. Now, I'm going to continually farm these, and I'm going to try and get them to 7 stars, max gear tier, and max level. Just because they're going to be useful in the future. They're potentially going to be a very strong shadow side team. If the Haradrim come out soon, Yeftu is going to be the one that I focus on more. If not, then I'm going to be focused on Noraz more. I want to get that troll summon high. I want to get that shadow side high. And I just want to be able to complete all of the shadow content that we have. Moving on to our guild energy. Ironhide, Ironhide, and Ironhide. You guys already know this. I'm going to continually farm Ironhide until he reaches 7 stars. We're going to get him to 7 stars. And then as soon as we get him to 7 stars, and only when we get him to 7 stars, we will then move on to Naramiri. once we go ahead and complete Naramiri, I'm probably going to move on to Elra here. Whether I end up taking Naramiri to 5 stars or to 7 stars, I've not quite decided yet, but Naramiri is going to be the first one that we fought. Arena team. As I mentioned in the start of this video, a lot of you guys have requested that I show my arena matches per day and also do a little bit of analysis, talk about what I think about the arena, talk about how I go about each arena battle, whether or not I care about losing battles, winning battles, arena placements, that sort of thing. So there will be an arena analysis video coming soon, as you guys have requested, so keep an eye out for that. I am also aiming to rise as much as possible. I want to maintain a minimum of gold 2 if this is possible. Currently we are in silver 2, but gold 2 will mean that I will be able to get at least my 3 campaign refreshes per day. And then some other miscellaneous tasks that I want to complete. I want to try and get Eladan up a little bit, just because I want to be able to complete his tier 5 of his event. If we switch over and have a look here, it will get us 15,000 XP, 50,000 gold, and 10 more luminous crystals. Now, this ends in around about 2 days. So either today or tomorrow, I'm going to focus on buffing up Eladan. If we have a look where he is currently, I've not upgraded any of his skills. He's still level 3. We've not put any gear on him. So I think getting him to the minimum requirements, which I believe is going to be gear tier 5, level 35, something like that. And then probably 333 in all of his skills. And then hopefully by doing that, it means that we're going to get that extra 50k gold. An extra 50k gold is an extra 50k gold. This is going to be the end of my 1 week account review. Hopefully this information was useful to you. Hopefully a lot of it made sense. If there is anything that you would like me to explain further, either in a separate video or in next week's review, leave a comment below, leave a like if you enjoyed, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. There will be some Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes content coming soon. I believe I have got myself a guild sorted out for when I hit that level. I think it's going to be the same guild which my main account is in. They're all a really great, friendly bunch of people, so hopefully be able to join them there. Now guys, that's going to be the end of this video. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.